bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, bullshit sometimes, and, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
So word on the street is that Bryshere Gray and August Alsina just got exposed. But here's the twist. It didn't come from some random gossip blog, it came from a woman named Allie Carter. And according to her, she's holding tea that the whole world was never supposed to sip. Now, according to Allie, while Will and Jada Smith were out here mentoring these young men, and you can read between the lines on what that might mean, Bryshere and August allegedly started their own secret connection behind the scenes. And get this, Allie says that moment was when August realized he might actually be interested in men. That's already wild, but it doesn't stop there. Word is, Bryshere, who many remember as Hakeem Lyon from Empire, had already been experimenting after his rumored interactions with Will. Now he's allegedly on OnlyFans, filming content with men and trans women. You can imagine how fast the internet ran with that. The story spread like wildfire. Social media, podcasts, blogs, everybody's talking. But before diving deeper, let's rewind a bit. Bryshere Gray, better known as Yaz the Greatest, came into the game hot. He was only 17 when he landed that breakout role on Empire. Hollywood saw him as the next big star, talented, young, charming, and camera-ready. He had that spark everybody loved. But as fast as he rose, things started slipping.
Bryshere Gray, one of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight, we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had assaulted her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
Fame came with attention and new connections. Bryshere soon crossed paths with major players in the industry like Charlie Mack, Will Smith, and Diddy, all through what was called a mentorship program. But if you've been online long enough, you've probably heard what some insiders like Jaguar Wright have said about those mentorships. Let's just say, people claim those meetings included a lot more than acting lessons, and that's where things start to twist. Because not long after joining that circle, Bryshere's whole world began to crumble. The young star who once had fans screaming his name was suddenly battling demons behind the scenes. Legal trouble, public meltdowns, and rumors that something dark had happened along the way.
The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. They try to get him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists. He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it.
Some folks say that so-called mentorship introduced him to a side of Hollywood that eats people alive. Others think he just got lost chasing fame. But now, with Allie Carter's story going viral, all those old whispers are coming back louder than ever. Because if what she's claiming is even half true, this might not just be about a couple of celebrities hooking up. This could expose a whole pattern of how young stars get pulled into something much bigger than they realize. Before the chaos, Bryshere Yaz Gray was the guy. Fresh face, wild talent, and Hollywood's next golden kid. But after the fame hit, things got messy, fast. The bright lights that made him a star started burning him from the inside out. Once Empire exploded, Yaz had everything: fame, fans, and a seat at the Hollywood table. But with fame came access. He started hanging around major players, Charlie Mack, Will Smith, Diddy, through what they called a mentorship program. But people close to the scene claim that mentorships in Hollywood often come with hidden costs. And that's when Bryshere's life started spiraling. Behind the red carpets and magazine covers, something darker was brewing. He began showing signs of distress, erratic behavior, substance use, legal run-ins, all happening while insiders whispered that he'd seen and experienced things he couldn't unsee. By 2020, everything came crashing down. His wife reportedly ran to a gas station begging for help, saying he attacked her. A whole SWAT team had to show up just to calm him down. Imagine that, and the same kid who once played a prince of hip-hop on TV now surrounded by police lights in real life. A year later, it didn't get better. In 2022, Bryshere was locked up again, this time for aggravated assault. Fans started asking, what happened to the boy who had it all? Was it fame, bad choices, or something deeper? That's when singer Jaguar Wright jumped into the picture, adding a whole new layer to the story. She claimed that Bryshere's own mother, Andrea Mayberry, signed off on that mentorship deal, allegedly knowing exactly what kind of access Charlie Mack and Will Smith were giving her son. Jaguar claimed she warned Andrea to back out, to protect Bryshere, but that never happened. And according to Jaguar, once that door opened, it was too late to close it.
Something about Bryshere's mom. I'ma kick you in your berthy and then I'ma go to work North Philly style binge. Lock you. And Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay porn star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You dog and see eye talk.
Jaguar's story painted a disturbing picture that Bryshere got caught up in Hollywood's dark game, the kind of system that looks shiny on the outside but eats people alive from the inside.
She came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the floor away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago safe, to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a drug dealer's whore. That's all she ever was. She went from music dealer to drug dealer, and then she would snitch on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Fitch and Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gay. Put it in. Nick, you ain't Charlie Mack. They're trying to slit him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come
It's
on.
starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent. And they filmed. And she let Charlie tune that boy up on cloak, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. Whore. You're a big old and they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his fucking book. Nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
She said Bryshere's breakdown wasn't random. It was the result of years of manipulation, pressure, and trauma from people who had way too much control over his life. Looking at how things played out, the breakdowns, the arrest, the public fall, a lot of fans started to wonder if Jaguar was telling the truth all along, because everything about Bryshere's downfall felt unnatural, like something pushed him over the edge. Now, years later, the whispers have come back, louder than ever, especially now that new voices, like Ali Carter, are claiming Bryshere's story connects directly to the Smith family and August Alsina. While Bryshere Gray's world was falling apart over in the Smith household, things weren't much better. That's when Hollywood got hit with one of the most shocking stories of the decade, Jada Pinkett Smith's entanglement with August Alsina. Let's take it back to 2020, when August went public and confessed that he had been in love with Jada for years, saying Will Smith himself gave him permission. The internet froze. Nobody saw that coming. August sat down for an interview and spilled everything. How the relationship started when he was young, how Jada helped him heal, and how it left him emotionally wrecked. He said, "I gave years of my life to this woman, and I truly loved her," explaining that what they had changed him forever. It made him question who he was, what love meant, and how deep he'd fallen into a situation that seemed untouchable.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life. Being intertwined in that way, walking away from it, butchered me. Like I'm shaking right now because it almost killed me. Not almost, it did. It pushed me into being another person, my newer self.
And here's where it gets even crazier. According to new claims, Bryshere was the one who encouraged August to tell his truth publicly. That right there made people start connecting dots they hadn't seen before. Because if Bryshere and August were already close behind the scenes, could there have been more to their friendship than fans realized? Now, Jada tried to play it cool at first, brushing off the talk and acting like nothing major happened. But then she brought herself to the red table talk with Will and dropped that now famous line, "It was an entanglement." She said it so casually that people almost forgot she was admitting to cheating in front of her husband. On camera, the internet exploded.
It's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business. Yeah. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
When I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided.
I was done with you.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
Memes, debates, reactions, everyone was tuned in. But what hit hardest wasn't the word entanglement. It was how broken Will looked sitting across from her. He didn't yell or cry. He just looked defeated, like someone carrying years of secrets that could never be spoken out loud. Jada told the world she was trying to feel good again, saying she had been emotionally lost. Fans were like, "Girl, you risked your whole marriage for that?" But the real moment came when she said, "Will didn't give me permission. I gave myself permission." That line revealed everything.
The only person that could give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker. I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good. And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
This was a family that played by their own rules. They lived differently, loved differently, and handled pain in ways nobody outside that circle could ever understand. But that openness, it didn't end the drama. It just opened new doors. Because now, people started asking what really went down between August, Will, Jada, and Bryshere. Because the timelines, they're way too close. The mentorships, the breakdowns, the emotional awakenings, everything seems to connect in ways that feel more than just coincidence. Just when people thought the drama was over, Allie Carter came out of nowhere with a revelation that sent shockwaves across the internet. She claimed she had information that tied Bryshere Gray and August Alsina together in a way that no one saw coming. And according to her, this wasn't about mentorship, friendship, or brotherhood. It was a secret relationship happening behind the scenes. Allie said that while Will and Jada Smith were mentoring these young men, August and Bryshere got close, real close. She claimed that what started as a supportive friendship turned into something romantic, and according to her, this was the moment when August realized he might actually be into men. Now, whether you believe Allie or not, one thing's for sure. She came in bold, confident, and completely unbothered. She said this wasn't gossip. It was truth that Hollywood tried to bury. And once she said it, the internet went wild trying to piece everything together. People started asking the real questions. If August and Bryshere were both mentored by the same powerful figures, and both later came out with emotional or identity awakenings, could there really be something deeper linking their stories? The timing was suspicious too. Think about it. August went public about Jada in 2020, saying that relationship changed him emotionally. Around that same time, Bryshere's life spiraled. Breakdowns, arrests, and rumors about his mental health. And now, both men have re-emerged. August embracing his attraction to men, and Bryshere allegedly on OnlyFans working with men and trans creators. To some fans, it felt like a pattern too perfect to ignore. But Allie didn't stop at just the claims. She hinted that she had receipts, screenshots, and messages that backed up what she said. She didn't show everything publicly, but she said enough for the internet to run wild connecting dots. And here's the twist. People noticed how fast both August and Bryshere went quiet after Allie's claims hit. Neither one clapped back, denied it, or said a word. That silence made people think there might be something real to what Allie was saying. Still, there are those who aren't buying it, saying Allie's just chasing clout and mixing real events with wild speculation. But even the skeptics admit her timing was perfect. She dropped her claims right when the public was already side-eyeing Hollywood for its secret networks, blurred boundaries, and hidden agendas. Now people are starting to wonder if Allie's story might have cracked open a bigger truth about what really happens behind those mentorship doors. Because these same names keep popping up every time young stars fall apart. Coincidence or connection? The more this story unfolds, the harder it is to separate rumor from reality. But one thing's clear. Whatever Allie Carter revealed has made the streets buzz louder than ever. When Allie Carter's claims hit social media, the internet nearly broke. Every blog, YouTube channel, and gossip page was on fire. Because in Hollywood, when something isn't true, people are usually quick to shut it down. But this time, nobody said a word. Fans started wondering, was Allie telling the truth, or was this just another messy rumor catching wind because people want to believe there's a dark side to every success story? Whatever it was, her words reopened every conversation people thought was over. Suddenly, old clips resurfaced. Interviews, paparazzi moments, red carpet shots, with people pointing out clues they'd missed before. The internet became one big investigation board. Even podcasts that usually avoid drama started weighing in, calling the situation bigger than gossip, a reflection of how Hollywood really works. At the center of it all stood two men, one trying to heal, the other trying to rebuild, both now caught in a web of rumors, secrets, and silence. At this point, the internet had already turned Bryshere Gray and August Alsina's story into a full-blown investigation. But beneath all the gossip and trending hashtags, there was something deeper, a story about how power, fame, and pain collide in Hollywood. Because when you really step back and look at it, the same names keep circling these scandals like clockwork, all connected to mentorships that somehow end with young stars breaking down, burning out, or vanishing from the spotlight. It's not just about rumors anymore, it's about a pattern. Fans are divided. Some say these stories are proof of a system that preys on young men looking for opportunity, grooming them under the mask of guidance. They say it's time people start holding the mentors accountable for the emotional and mental fallout that seems to follow. Others push back hard, saying maybe August and Bryshere just grew, changed, and discovered themselves naturally. That not every transformation has a dark backstory. But when you look at how their lives flipped upside down right after getting close to that same Hollywood circle, it's hard not to at least wonder if something more was going on. Because August didn't just talk about Jada, he talked about being emotionally drained, like the experience had cracked him open from the inside. Bryshere didn't just lose fame, he lost control. So now the question's yours. Do you think Ali Carter told the truth about Bryshere and August? Do you believe these mentorships are just professional help or something much more dangerous? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, because this conversation isn't ending anytime soon. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video so you don't miss what comes next, because the next chapter in this saga might just uncover even more secrets hiding in plain sight. This is Street Fame Files, where we don't just talk gossip, we break down the truth they don't want you to see.